Good morning. How are you? I just got back in town from basically 2 full weeks back to back of being out of town, and so I am just easing back into the studio, and I thought that I would take you guys along for the ride, that we could spend the day together. I'm not sure what this video will end up being, but in the course of my travels, I picked up something, case of laryngitis. I'm not really sure what, so my throat is a little funky. And I don't want to do a whole lot of talking just because I'm trying to be like on voice rest. So yeah, I have some orders to process. I've got some orders to make and process. And I just figured that we could hang out for the day. So this morning, well, let's back up. So last night I was laying in bed. I went to bed so early. I was just super tired. Just some context. I normally stay up pretty late, at least midnight, 1 a.m. And last night I was in bed sleeping by 10:30. So I was maxed. I was just super tired. So as soon as my head hit the pillow last night, I realized that we are in the middle of November and that 12 days of Christmas is coming up. Now I've been compiling this list for 12 days for several months now, but I haven't actually put anything on video. I haven't coordinated any of the PDFs or anything like that. So naturally my mind started racing as soon as I laid down, and this morning, probably because I went to bed so early, I was up and at 'em awake at 6 a.m., which that's very abnormal, but it makes sense. If you go to sleep so early, you're going to get up early. So I was able to get up before the sun came up. So I traded last night in for this morning, which was kind of nice, slow, easy morning. It was just me awake. All the pets were sleeping. And so while I had my coffee, I did like website maintenance and things that have been on my to-do list for far too long. And so that felt great. And it's only 9 a.m. I'm already showered. I'm ready to go. I never would have makeup on this early. It's definitely an abnormal day for me, but we are going to harness it and do with it what we can. So like I said before, I do have some orders to process and I have some orders to make. So I'm just going to take you along for the ride, and whatever happens, happens. If at any point you are enjoying the video, please give me a thumbs up, comment below. Let me know if you like these vlog styles, hang with me days. And if so, then I would love to keep making them for you. All right, let's get to work. First order of business, you must pet the kitty. Now, if you're not a patron, you probably aren't aware of this. I don't know how you would be, but Druzy was in the hospital a couple weeks ago for several days. After we got back from hiking the Appalachian Trail, I picked her up just like I normally do, kind of like this. And she just felt so different. See how she just like curls into my arms? But she just felt different. It was mother's intuition, we'll call it that. And we took her to the vet, and sure enough, she had a UTI that went to a bladder infection, which was wild because we were only on the trail for 3 days. Like, we were only away from our home for 3 days altogether. So the fact that she was perfectly fine on Sunday, when we got home on Wednesday, she was very clearly not feeling like herself. She was still eating and she was still drinking and she wasn't vomiting or anything like that. So there weren't any major signs of what it could possibly be. And so I'm really glad that we took her in. Oh, you need to watch that. I'm really glad that we took her in because she ended up being on IV fluids for 3 full days, and it was a very unexpected expense. But of course, my studio assistant, we pay out of pocket for all of her healthcare. I do not provide healthcare for my employees. So anyways, I'm happy to report that we went back for her 2-week checkup, some blood work, and the doctor suspected that she might have had chronic kidney disease, and that this just the UTI became the bladder infection very quickly because it was untreated previously. But they did her blood work and she came back all good, and they removed the diagnosis of chronic kidney disease. And so for now we are back to homeostasis, and I couldn't be happier. So now that we've got petting the kitty out of the way, let's package some orders, shall we? So this customer ordered a sewing kit, and I do offer them on my website, not for every single pattern. If there's one that you want and you don't see, just reach out and I can probably coordinate that. But this customer ordered the tall wallet. So when you get a kit, you get all of the cork cut and ready to go. It's not 100% prepped, but I did go ahead and I added all of the cut lines for them to just quickly cut out before construction. It comes with a paper pattern, the cork, and then differing hardware depending on what it needs. So for the tall wallet, it comes with a magnetic snap, the vinyl ID window, and so I did one with the thumb hole, and then a coordinated zipper of my choosing. So I went with black and antique brass for this kit. And then this customer also ordered a recessed card slot template, which I have some of these left as well. But this little ditty is so helpful when you're making these recessed card slots. So yeah, let's get it all packaged up. Thank you, Sarah, for your order. I always have this idea that whenever I'm like eating my lunch, or in this case, drinking my breakfast, like, oh, I'll just scroll for just a little bit. And then next thing you know, it'll be such a long time. So no phone, friends. All right, so the kit and the box that we just packaged up is the only new order aside from the ones that I have to make. And so I have a tall wallet, 2 tall wallets and 2 trifold wallets that I have to get made and sent out. These are Etsy orders, presumably for the holiday season. I don't know where I thought we were in the year, but it has not really registered to me that people are now ordering for presents. Where's the year gone? I have no idea what I'm gonna get Brandon for Christmas. We don't do like traditional gifts. We normally do 4. One you want, one you need, one to wear, one to read. And sometimes we swap one of those out and do like a travel experience. I don't know what our game plan is for this year as far as what 4 gifts we'll be doing, but I have to figure that out because my, time is a ticking. So 3 of the 4 orders are olive cork, which is awesome. So I can just batch sew those all together. So I'm just going to get started. We're going to stay away from our phones, okay? No phones. I love to listen to podcasts, so I will probably do that at some point. Makes it a little tricky to listen to stuff when I'm filming because of like copyright issues. If I just let it play, you're going to hear it. I will get dinged. So it's kind of hard to do unless I put an AirPod. Not an AirPod. I don't have AirPods. I've got the cheap version of AirPods, but I think I'm gonna go grab those so that I can keep listening to this podcast episode. It is Armchair Expert, and the interviewee is Mel Robbins of Let Them Theory. She just put that book out, and my friend actually just let me borrow it. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 chapters in. Good so far. I don't know if you guys are into books, but if so, check that out. That's not good. Just X-Acto blade floating around. What are we thinking? Not safe. Where's OSHA? Maybe I should put it away instead of just putting it back down. Now I accidentally cut out 2 olive tall wallets, and I don't need those for the order. I have 1 eggplant, 1 olive, so I'm going to pull 1 over to the side so I can focus on just what I need to finish. for the orders. Okay, so it has been a few hours I've been working. I've had some lunch. I still haven't finished my coffee, so that's not abnormal. I did miss the mail, even though I got those 2 wallets made. And I have started on my tall wallets. And the zipper is just giving me hell with a capital H. I have sewn it 3 times, but I haven't gone all the way back to the drawing board with it. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to pull the whole thing out. I ripped out the stitches. I don't know. Yeah, you could see how many times I've just, it's like my stitching was really not crazy wonky, but it was wonky enough to where I decided to rip it out 3 times and fix it. And I think what I'm going to blame it on is I haven't been sewing for a while. And it's like I'm a new driver. Every time I stitch, I'm going really fast and I'm just like, ugh, getting off track. So what I'm going to do is rip the whole zipper out. And so there's glue on the back, but that's fine. And I'm going to steam the cork, and we're going to see how many of these punch holes I can get out. So I just have my little handheld guy here. You saw me use it a few minutes ago probably. And I have my spray bottle. I love this kind. It's like a mister bottle. But I'm just going to lightly spray and then steam out the holes and see where I can get. And then I'm going to glue my zipper tape back into place and stitch around it and then continue with filling my orders. I just like to lightly spritz. And then my iron's been on for a while, so it's fully heated. And I want to hear that sound because I want the water to react to the heat, because that steam is what's going to make the cork swell and make the holes close up. So here's first pass. Hopefully you can see, but it cleared up 98% of it. I'm just going to hit it one more time. Look at that. Like new. I did it. I got the zipper all nicely done. I don't know what was happening before, just having a disagreement with my machine. I slowed things down. But what I did is I steamed all the holes out and then I re-glued it, let the glue dry, and then stitched it nice and slow, especially in those areas I was having issues with. And she looks great now, nice and straight. And then I have one of my pockets done. I just need to finish off the other pocket and then finish up this tall wallet. And then I just have one more to finish up. And then we're going on a walk. Oh, we're going on a W-A-L-K with the P-U-P-S. So I have now completed both of the tall wallets, and I am on to edge coating, which is a pretty decently time consuming. Feels gratuitous. It is not time consuming in the way that it takes a long time. It's time consuming in the way that you have to apply the paint, let it dry several times. But I do think that it is worth it. So here is the raw edge of the tall wallet, and it's just all trimmed up and ready to go. Now you can just like Mod Podge it or leave it raw, but what'll happen when it's raw is it puts off these little, can you see that little fuzzy? It puts that off. And so what I find is that the edge coating just really seals it, gives it a really nice professional look. And so I think it is well worth the time investment to do it. And so this olive one has one coat on it so far. And so what I tend to do is 3 coats base coat. Right now I'm using Giardini Dense Base Coat, and then I do 1 to 2 of the color. I think within the parameters of edge coat, you can see what you like. I have found in my experience that I like to build up an edge with the base coat, and then the color, I don't have to be so careful about. But I have talked to other makers that don't even use base coat. They just use color, and they do several layers of that. There are a myriad of tools to use, but my current setup is this guy. And I just upgraded all my towels recently. I've been using my old towels for years. They were covered in paint and glue. And now I have these nice fresh bar towels from Aldi. So that's fun. If you have any questions about edge coat, you can drop them in the comment box. I also have several, at least 3. Now that I say that out loud, I'm not 100% sure on that. I have at least 2 videos on edge coat, edge paint, how to finish edges, all of that. They're kind of older, but it's still pretty much the same. I've just gotten better at doing it because I've been doing it for so long. But if you are interested in those videos, I will link them. I'll pop one up here in the corners. Hopefully I remember to do that. If not, check the description box below, and those will be down there. So I'm just going to work on my base coats. I also have this series wallet that is ready. This has 3 layers, and so this one is ready for color. So I'm going to go ahead and pop some color on this guy too. If you haven't seen this pattern, where have you been? I love this guy. It's kind of hard to see because it's such a dramatic cork, but it has this cool gusseted coin pouch and this cash slot that opens all the way up, and that has 8 card slots here. So if you want to check this pattern out, be my guest. All right, my friends, it is the end of the workday. It is 6:32 p.m. We got a fair amount accomplished today, but this is one of my slower studio days. I tend to hit it really hard on days when I have a lot to sew, but filming, even though most of this is just like filming how I work, it still slows things down, shockingly. But I'm in a good space work-wise where I'm not like losing my mind busy, but I'm also staying busy. So that's exciting. I really hope that you enjoyed this style video. Let me know below if you liked it, if you didn't like it. If you didn't like it, just let me know nicely. You know, we all have feelings, right? I'm always torn about these videos because pragmatically, when I think about filming them, I'm like, that's so stupid because it's just so much of me working and I'm not like talking through things. So I feel like they're silly to do, but I watch other people do them. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm stuck. So let me know if you liked it. Druzy, of course, did nothing all day. That's what she's best at. I realized that if I waited until these wallets were totally done, which was my intention, I was going to package them up with you and show you how I package them. But the video would have to go until tomorrow. And, you know, anyways, we've had a long day, okay? We don't need to work all night. Unhealthy work habit. But you can see this is what my edges look like. This is coat 2 for the purple, and then coat 3 for the olive. And you can see the olive is a lot more even, and it just kind of looks smoother. I have sanded this one down as well. This one needs one more coat and then a good sanding, and then they'll both get color. So I will package them up on my own. I release you from work today. Good work. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you guys very soon.